Very good morning to you all, Year 9, and welcome to our options assembly this morning. I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you this morning just talking through some of the different options that are available to you and some of the different choices that you have to make, and also to give you a bit of an understanding of some of the choices that are available and the process involved. So, there are three different pathways which are available to Year 9 students in selecting their options for next year. The first pathway is what's known as the traditional pathway. So the traditional pathway is a range of subjects that lead to something called the English Baccalaureate, or the EBAC. The EBAC is just a range of subjects that you need to gain a grade 4 or a grade 5 in order to achieve this. And the purpose behind this is to try and encourage young people to study what might be described as academic subjects. Those people who follow the traditional pathway may be advantaged in the future when it comes to certain university applications and potentially some employment in the future. The traditional pathway follows the same core as everyone else within the school, but the options essentially mean that you have to select either history or geography as one of your first option choices. The second one is that you would have to study a language, either French, Spanish, or German, that we offer here at school. And then the third choice becomes any other choice in the list that we have. The core offer is the same, as I said, for every student in the school, where you would study English language and English literature for 5 hours per week. Some students will actually complete their English literature at the end of year 10 and then focus their energies on English language in year 11. But for many students, they'll also be just studying both of those subjects throughout year 10 and year 11 and completing them at the end of year 11. All students will study mathematics GCSE for 4 hours per week. All students will study GCSE science, which is a double award, for 5 hours per week. And all students will study physical education and RSHE, or at least be involved in that, because this is a non-examined element of your curriculum. So there is also an additional opportunity for some students to study what's known as Option Plus, which is GCSE statistics that takes place after school. So Options Plus, I will talk to you about a little bit later on. The open pathway is very similar to the traditional pathway in that the core is absolutely identical. The main difference here is with the options. So your first option choice has to be either history, geography, French, Spanish, or German, computer science, or triple award science. The reason why triple award science is in there is because that can count as an extra GCSE for you. So on top of the core offer of double award science, you can study triple award science, which is going to give you 3 GCSEs in science. The second option can be any other GCSE or alternative qualification that we offer. And the third option is the same, that you can study any other qualification that we've got on offer, but we insist on you not doubling up option 2. I'll discuss with you in a minute what doubling up means. Once again, Option Plus GCSE statistics after school is available for those following the open pathway. The vocational pathway is something that you would be invited to follow. And this is a pathway which, once again, follows exactly the same core offer as every other student. The options this time become completely free choice in terms of what you can study. but we do insist that there is no doubling up of either option 1 or option 2. So this is by invitation only. It's only about 10 to 12 students that usually follow the vocational pathway each year. So what do we mean by doubling up? So doubling up, which we would discourage people from doing, is following either art, photography and textiles and trying to do the second option in one of those as well. So if you're going to choose art, we wouldn't want you to be studying art and photography or art and textiles or vice versa. Essentially, what we're looking for you to do is, if you want to do one of those, that you only study one of those subjects. Option plus. So option plus, I talked about before, is an after-school GCSE. It's designed to give you that fourth option, and it is limited to GCSE statistics, and it is limited to higher tier only. So it really is for those students who want that extra academic rigor and getting that extra GCSE, and it is a commitment to doing this after school. So in order to determine whether or not you've got that commitment, what we ask students to do is to submit a letter of application. It doesn't have to be a huge letter. It's a letter outlining why it is that you wish to do option plus after school, and confirmation of your commitment beyond the normal curriculum that you will come to additional lessons after school throughout year 10. So there are a number of key dates which I'd like you to be aware of. Obviously today is the presentation for you, which I will share through Show My Homework and have shared. On Monday evening, there will be a presentation released to your parents, which goes through very similar to what I've just done with you guys, but also there will be presentations for every subject available on our website. Obviously, then once you've and your parents have had an opportunity to listen to that and see all of the different subjects, you start the process of thinking about which of those options you want to select. And of course, you can contact your tutors if you wish to get some support with that. I've also said to your parents that they can use the the online form on our website if you've got specific questions. You've also got the opportunity to join with your parents on the Year 9 Parents' Evening, which is due on the 21st of January, to ask specific questions of your subject teachers. This year, we're going to do things slightly differently in terms of getting option choices in that we're going to be doing that online. We will release information to you nearer the time about how you go about doing that, but option choices won't take place this year on paper forms. They'll all happen online. The deadline for completing that is the 29th of January. And it's really important that you complete that deadline, because on the 29th of January, when we've got all this information in, what we will do is we will start to plan how to give everyone their option choices. And of course, if you don't submit yours doesn't get included in that pool, which means it's less likely that you'll get your choices. So it's really important that you meet that deadline of the 29th of January. I will say at this point, it's really important that you understand that not everyone gets their choices. It's really important to understand this because what we try to do is give about as many people as possible their choices. So we move all the subjects around into different, what we call blocks. And of course, if you've chosen 2 subjects that happen to come into one block, you can't be in 2 places at the same time. So it's important that you submit your choices on the 29th. So when all of that moving around has taken place, your option choices are within that pool and it influences the decision making. So really, the questions that I would do with you at this point, I'm going to hand over to you being able to communicate with your form tutor if you've got specific questions. Or as I say, you can use the online form on the school website if you've got specific questions and you want some clarity about things, whether it's a question for myself or if it's a question for a particular subject leader. So very happy for you to submit questions on that online form. I hope you're all well. I hope that you're all looking after yourselves. I hope that you're engaging with your learning and your lessons at the moment. And I hope that to see you very soon indeed. And please do take care. Thank you for joining me this morning.